Hello everyone, my name is Julianna Iovino and you are listening to 88.7 FM Radio Hofstra University. Reporting today from the ECLI-VIBEs office in Islandia, New York. Today I'm joined by Feride Castillo, co-founder of ECLI and Programming and Education Director at ECLI-VIBEs, and Ellen Wilson, who is the Communications Director. Thank you so much for joining me today. And to start us off, can you tell me a little bit about ECLI-VIBEs? What is the mission of the organization?
First, thank you for having us on the show. And our mission really is to empower and break a lot of the generational trauma including violence. So that's really like our mission. And under that mission, we work with survivors of domestic violence, rape, sexual assault, and human trafficking.
Thank you. And now, what ways does ECLI-VIBEs help women in need, or really anyone that's in need?
So the array of services that we provide are really support services to try to support someone in immediate need. And that immediate need could look like anything. It could be from shelter or housing to food to clothing to having to escape a very dangerous situation. So our services try to support what that looks like when the individual is coming to us. It could be meeting them at the hospital if there was a rape or sexual assault. We do offer, for example, safe services. Our safe nurses are certified by us, and then they're sent to the hospitals, to the ones that we're contracted with anyway, to support that process. We also have rape crisis counselors who go and help with more of the emotional aspect, right? Really do the hand holding, supporting, because traumatic events are traumatic. That's really what it is. So we want to make sure that people are surrounded with empathetic and properly trained individuals that know how to support them in these situations. When they call us, again, housing, shelter might be the immediate need because they need to get out of their situation or they're currently experiencing homelessness. Food, we have a pantry that supports about, at this point, almost 3,000 people, over 3,000 people a month just with food. Because we know, the economy, financial instability is a risk factor. These are all things that play into victimization. And so we want to make sure that we're kind of like nipping it from the root of the issue and supporting people in ways that they actually really need it. We also offer counseling. We see children from 4 and up. So we have children, adolescents, adults, and also the elderly. We support almost every population who's been victimized in some way, shape, or form.
Thank you. That's awesome. And especially because you guys touch on so many different areas. Like it's not just one thing that you guys do. You really help so much along the way and people getting the help that they need.
Absolutely, because victimization looks so different. There's cultural differences, there's financial and socioeconomic differences. There are so many barriers and there's so many issues that someone can come with, and they might look very different one from another. And so we want to make sure that our services aren't like that proverbial square that like the round ball has to get through, right? Like we want to be able to be so flexible that anyone can come and be able to obtain our services. So accessibility is one of the most important things for us. So while we can't, we're not in a perfect world and we're not a perfect organization, but we really do try to maintain our flexibility to try to meet people where they are. It's one of our core values. It's literally part of our mission. It's what we are here for. We want to make sure that if someone is really in need, whatever that need might look like, even if it's completely outside the box, that we're figuring out a way to fill that need, right?
For sure. That's super important. So thank you so much for sharing. Now, these services, though, how can someone reach out to get this help? Like if they're at the hospital or they're in need?
So they can call our Hope Line number, and it's 631-360-3606. That is our Hope Line number. It is 24 hours, and we have bilingual support services also, so that's really important to mention because Long Island is very immersed with our immigrant, families. Or they can go to our website, so it's ECLI-VIBEs.org, not .com, .org. Or they could, we do accept walk-in services. So we are located at 185 Oval Drive in Islandia. And our hours do vary from day to day. So I think always just calling ahead and making sure that, someone will be here.
Thank you. Now, Leslie, is there anything else you would like to say to our listeners, stuff that they should really look out for? If there is a woman in need that's listening right now, what would you say to them?
So I want to make sure that everyone knows that our services are not only for women. They're for children, adolescents, male, female, non-binary, whatever you identify, right? I want to make sure that we are inclusive for adult men and women. I want to make sure that that's also really clear. And honestly, I think my mantra is just like, you're not alone. Like, there are services, there are programs, and there are people who just genuinely care about you and want to make sure that you're okay. We get sometimes phone calls, not even for people who are being victimized. It's just because they need someone to talk to, right? We welcome those phone calls too. So, and all of our services are free. Thank you.
That's awesome. Thank you so much again for joining me today. Now, my name is Julianna Iovino. This has been WRHU on 88.7 FM Radio Hofstra University. Thank you.